Hello, my name is Flore Cosquer and I'm the Head of Talent Development at Scottish Documentary Institute. I wanted to talk to you today about bridging the gap and more specifically walk you through our application process and also share a few tips with you in case you're thinking of submitting an idea to this year's call. The deadline to submit your application is Friday the 25th of September at noon. The application is entirely online. You will need to submit an online form and a few elements which I will detail in this short video. The online form, you have the option of starting working on it, saving it and submitting it at a later stage, so I would really encourage you to have a look at it as soon as you can. We want to think that our application process is quite simple and straightforward. First, we're asking you for a few information about yourself. We're also asking you to submit a short note on your motivations and reasons for applying to Bridging the Gap. If I were you, I would really put a bit of effort into this short paragraph because it's a great way of showing that, showing the selection panel that you are very ambitious about documentary, you are passionate about the idea you're submitting, but also that Bridging the Gap is coming at the right stage in your career. We're asking you to submit an example of previous work. This previous work can be of any genre. It can be fiction, it can be documentary, of course, it can be animation. If you did not direct this film, we will want to make sure that you had a key role on it. So whether you produced it or edited it or you were a DOP. If you have several shorts under your sleeve, please make sure that you only submit one link. You have to pick the one you feel is the most relevant to your application, the one which shows that your filmmaking and storytelling skills. One last thing, please do not submit any promo reel because we find it very difficult to get a sense of somebody's filmmaking skills through just a succession of clips. We're also asking you to submit an up-to-date CV. Please just make sure that you only include the experiences that you feel are relevant to filmmaking. Then your project. We'll ask you to detail your project a little bit. You will need to submit a short synopsis, which is basically the summary of this story you're wanting to tell. The same as the short notes on your motivation, make sure to work on this paragraph because this is the first thing the selection panel will read about your idea. So you want to make it engaging and very clear. We're then asking you to submit a proposal. So you will see detailed advice on how to write a proposal in the guidelines on our website. So make sure to read them before because they will provide a very useful starting point, if not an overall structure that you can apply to your project. But I just wanted to give you a few additional and practical pointers to make sure that the proposal you're submitting serves the right purpose. Which is to bring people into your idea and make them want to select you for this year's Bridging the Gap. So remember to add an image to your proposal. This is very important. You're making a film, so visual are crucial. This will help conveying a sense of the project that you have in mind. Of course, the image needs to be relevant. Don't just stick a pretty image there to make it look good. You have to make sure that this image makes sense and gives and adds something to your proposal. Make sure to have a title in place, even if it's a working title. Well, that should be the easy and fun bit, really. Make sure to write your name and contact details at the bottom of each page, so people, when they read your project, can instantly, afterwards, associate your name with your project. Remember, that last one is very important. Remember that human beings will be reading your proposals. So think about a readable font size, breathing space on the page, anything that will help with the overall legibility. remember that a pleasant layout will immediately make the reader want to read more. The selection panel are unlikely to know you or to have direct access to your brain. So don't make assumptions on what the reader might or might not be familiar with. Don't take shortcuts. Explain clearly, simply, and with passion what your film is going to be about, what is going to unfold on screen, what it's going to look like, and why you're the right person to make it. I advise you, to help you with this, I'd advise you to ask a couple of people to read your proposal. The less connected to the film industry and to filmmaking, the better, I would say. Just ask them, once they've read your proposal, what they have understood, what was clear and what was unclear for them. And this should really help you clarify your proposal and make sure that the selection panel will understand what your idea is about and what your aims are. One last important point, feasibility. So in the current situation, you need to make sure that your project is doable within the bridging the gap timeframe, but also in respect with the COVID-19 guidelines, safety guidelines. So on that note, you might want to check the Screen Skills online session, which is called Coronavirus Basic Awareness on Production Training. And I would really recommend you to have a few lines in your proposal on how you're going to be dealing with this new reality and the challenges that it brings. We're also asking you to submit a link to some visual material to help complement your proposal. So we're aware that you're probably at very early stages of development of your idea, and we're not expecting you to create a really polished and edited trailer. But you're applying to a film scheme, so you still need to put a bit of effort into it and show us that you're first and foremost filmmakers. It can be, this visual material can be a short clip showing your main character or the access that you have to the story you're proposing to tell. You can also use pre-existing footage to convey the mood of the film you're wanting to make. Don't worry, there won't be any copyright issues because these clips will only be shared with our selection panel. So just be creative and just try to give us a visual sense of the idea that you have in your head and the film you're wanting to make. We are also asking you to submit an online equality, an online equal opportunities form. I'm sorry. This is entirely anonymous, and although it's not compulsory, it provides us with extremely useful information, and it does help us in our endeavor to increase the diversity, the relevance, and the accessibility of our training programs. So remember that filmmaking is about storytelling, and translating your ideas onto the page is an essential phase in creative documentary. So be engaging, be passionate, but also be realistic. Show us that you have a vision and an ambition for the project you're applying with. Make sure you have a look at the dates of the various workshops, as attendance to this session is absolutely compulsory and no exception will be made. And if you have any further questions, just email us at bridgingthegap@scottdoc.com. Good luck, and we'll also run further inspiration workshops online in September, so keep an eye on our website for social announcements. Good luck, and we're really looking forward to reading your projects. Bye.